Okay, so good morning, class. How's everyone?
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. So, for this week, our topic is about graph, and in this chapter, you will learn about the graphs and become familiar with the basic terminology of graph theory, discover of how to represent graphs in computer memory, to explore graphs in the ADT, examine and implement various graph traversal algorithms, learn how to implement the shortest path algorithm, and examine and implement the minimal spanning tree algorithm. So, as we all know, okay, if we want to go from the source to the destination, there's a possibility that you can go a lot of way, right? I mean, you can go from the route. Say, for example, if you want to go from from Caloocan from our place to Manila or to school, from home to school, there's so many paths that I can go through. So if I can go to the route, I go to Bulacan or to go to the NLEX, and then from NLEX, from there I can go also through the path of Monumento or through the path of where is that again? Uh I forget the road. Where the Dangwa is. Yeah, I forget the name of the road, but I can go that way. Or I can traverse through the Mindanao Avenue, the Muñoz, and then Quezon Avenue, and so on. Okay, and then there's also some other way. I can what is the other way? I can go through the North EDSA, and then West Avenue, and then Quezon Avenue, and to Manila. So there's so many ways that I can go through to reach the destination. But the question is, what is the shortest path? So the shortest path somehow ask you, or your parameter there will be the length of the road. Say, for example, how many kilometers, or the volume of the cars. Because of course, if it's even if it's a longer distance but there's no traffic, you can still reach early, right? Or you can reach on time. But if that is a shorter road, but the traffic is heavy, so you cannot really move in that direction. So depending on the weight, so that's what we call the weight of that particular path. So graph is basically used, for example, like the GPS, right? Or the GPS or Waze. Okay, the Waze wherein it's looking for the shortest path to the destination. But aside from that's the obvious application. But aside from that, okay, graph can also be used in machine learning. Okay, so most of the algorithm that is used for machine learning in order to be able to classify makes use of the graph theory. Okay, so it started when a problem called the Königsberg Bridge problem, which is a river in Prigel, flows around the island Kaypok and then divides it into two branches. So there's a bridge that separates the two island, or the two places. So there's a question or a challenge that starting at one land area, can you cross all bridges exactly once and return to the start? Excuse me. So it was Euler in 1736 who represented the problem as a graph and answered the question no. So to represent the problem on Königsberg, here's the graph devised by Königsberg. So each of the island, or each of the land area, is represented by the blue blue node, and the path is D, and this particular path from one destination to the other serves as a path. Okay. So if you start from B, okay, you can traverse all of the island, but you have to pass by one of the what do you call this, island as well. Okay, so Over the past 200 years, graph theory has been applied to a variety of problems, including to model electrical circuits, chemical compounds, highway maps, and so on. Analysis of electrical circuits, finding the shortest route, project planning, linguistics, genetics, social science, and so on. So also with network, okay, in networking, so we have here with the bridges, the spanning tree. The spanning tree enables to find the shortest path. So what does it mean? Anyways, I just leave the concept to the networking or to the Cisco courses. So graph definitions and notations. So A is an element of X. A is an element of the set X. When you say subset, so that means every element of Y is also an element of X. So in intersection contains all the elements in A and B. And union, a set of all the elements that are in A or in B. So this, I think it was introduced to you using in discrete mathematics, the property or this given definition of sets. So A times B, set of all ordered pairs of elements of A and B. And graph is represented by the vertices of V and E. So V is a finite non-empty set of vertices of G, where elements in E are the pairs of elements of V, and E is called set of edges. So yung path earlier in the graph, that is what we call the edges. So directed graph or digraph, elements of E, G are ordered pairs. Okay, so that means it comes in the vertex, which is the intersection of X and Y, is an ordered pair. Undirected graph, elements are not ordered. If U, V is an edge in a directed graph, the origin is U and the destination will be V. So subgraph H of G, so if in every vertex and edge of V is in G. So V is the vertex and E is the edge. So V is a subset, V of H is a subset of V and G, and edge of H is a subset of E of G. So every vertex and edge of V is in the graph. So this shows various undirected graphs, which means that is an unordered graph. So as you can see from point 1 to point 5, there's so many paths that you can go through. You can go from 1 to 5 or 1, 4, 5 or 1, 1, 3, 4, 5 or 1, 3, 6, and 5. So here's also, so this is actually a binary tree, but can also be considered as a graph. So this shows the graph of the different cities. This shows also the directed graph. So as you can see, it has a direction. So directed graph compared to the previous one, it doesn't have any direction, but this one, it has a certain direction, which means it tells if a particular edge or node is a subset of the given node. So adjacent, there is an edge from one vertex to the other. So that means so the vertex are the intersection. So that means there's a path to the given edge. So incident, if edge E is equal to the vertex UV, then E is incident on U and V. So in this case, there's a loop, edge incident on a single vertex. Parallel edges associated with the same pair of vertices. Simple graph, it has no loops or parallel edges. So path is a sequence of vertices U1, U2, up to UN such that U is equal to U1 and UN is equal to V and UI, the vertex of U and UI plus 1 is an edge for all the indexes. Connected vertices, there's a path from U to V. A simple path, a path in which all vertices except possibly the first and last are distinct. So cycle, a simple path in which the first and last vertices are the same. A connected path exists from any vertex to any other vertex. So the component here will be the maximal subset of the connected vertices. So in a connected graph G, if there's an edge from U to V, then U is adjacent to V and V is adjacent from U. Strongly connected, any two vertices in G are connected. So to write programs that process and manipulate graphs, it must be stored in the computer memory. So a graph can be represented in several ways, like the adjacency matrices or adjacency lists. So in terms of matrix, a graph with n vertices where n is equal to 0 can be represented by vertex of graph is equal to the V's of 1. V's of 2 is an array of from V's of 1 to V's of n. So adjacency matrix, so A sub G of G is a two-dimensional n by n matrix such that, so you're all particular with matrix, right? So each of the item in the matrix will be represented by the vertex. So adjacency matrix of an undirected graph is symmetric. What do you mean by symmetric? It has the same, so if that is 3, 3 by 3, 2 by 3, and so on. 3 by 3, 4 by 4, and so on. So graph with n vertices, where n is greater than 0. So linked list corresponding to each vertex V. So each node of linked list contains the vertex U, such that vertex U V is a subset of E and G. So each node has two components such as vertex and the link. So here shows the adjacency list of a particular graph wherein so as you can see, this is the graph. Below is the graph and the linked list representation is on the top. So we start from the 1 or the node 1, okay, where 1 is connected, is connected to 2, linked to 2, and 2 linked to 2, and 2 from 1 is also linked to 4. Okay, so continuing, so as you can see, okay, so as you can see from the node 1, it has path going to the node 2 and also going to the path 4, to the node 4. So at 2, it has a path to 3 and to 5, and 3 on the other hand is pointing to the null, okay, and 4 is connected to 2, 3, and 5, and 5 is it doesn't have any edge. Okay, so on the other hand, for the the G2 or the graph 2. So as you can see, it has a path going to 1 and 3. And 1 has a path to 2 and 5. And 2 has a path to 0 and 7. 3, so 3 has a path to 4 and 6. 4 has path to 8, okay, which is an edge. And 5 has a path to 4. Where is it? Path to 4. And 6 is to 0. 7 is considered an edge. And 8 has a path to 5 and 6. Okay, so operations commonly performed on graph are creating the graph, clearing the graph, so makes the graph empty, determine whether the graph is empty, traverse the path, the graph, and the printing of the graph. So just like in the stock and queue, it has its operations. Like in stock, you have the push and pop. In queue, you have to the queue and enqueue. Okay, here for the graph, you have the creation, clearing, determining, traversing, and printing. So adjacently list using the linked list. For each vertex V, vertices adjacent to V are stored in linked list associated with V. So as shown earlier, so for vertices, whatever that is adjacent is stored in the link. So in a directed graph, vertices adjacent to V are called immediate successors. So to manage data in a linked list, use class unordered linked list. So it makes use of the same class that we had before on linked list. Okay. So implement graph as an abstract data type, including functions to create or clear the graph, print the graph, traverse the graph, and determine the graph's size. So traversing a graph is similar to traversing a binary tree, except that a graph might have cycles. Let me charge my laptop. So traversing a graph is similar to traversing a binary tree, except that a graph might have cycles. So cycles meaning it can be closed, okay? Or it might not be able to traverse the entire graph from a single vertex. So most common graph traversal algorithms are the depth first and the breadth first traversal. So depth first traversal at a given node V. So mark a node V as visited. So just like in what do you call this, in the implementation of the binary search tree without recursion. So you mark whichever node or child has been visited by pushing using a stack. So for each vertex U adjacent to V, if U is not visited, start the depth first traversal at U. So this is a recursive algorithm. But in this case, it's a must also that you do the recursive algorithm on the vertices of the graph. So depth first ordering of vertices. So here we have a directed graph wherein It goes from 0. I know. So it goes to the depth of the graph. So from 0, it goes to 1, 4. Since 4 doesn't have any directed outside, but it receives from 6. So it again starts, it proceeds now to the next child, which in this case you have 3, then goes to 2, 5, 7, 7, and then the next child, that is 8, and 6. 6 is a child, not a child actually, it's a node that does not receive any path from other vertices, but instead going there. So we have here the 6 and the 9. Okay, so again, we go to the depth of the graph. Okay, so 0, 1, 4, then proceeds to the next 3, 2, 5, 7, and then 8. The 6 and 9 will be 6 and 9 will be actually not a child but a recipient, but you traverse it anyways. So it in the breadth first ordering of vertices, so level by level. So in this case we have 0, 3, and then 0, 0, 1, and then from 1 you go to the to its child. Okay, so 0, 1, 4, then 3, 0, 1, and then to the child, the next level. Then after that, the next level of 1 will be 4, and the next level of 3 will be 2. So 0 will be the first level, 1 and 3 will be the second level, 2 and 4 will be the third level, okay? 5 and 7 will be the fourth, and 8 will be the fifth. So again, 0, 1, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 7, 8, and then of course the what do you call this? 6 and 9. Did you get that, class? So same concept also with the binary search tree, wherein you traverse level by level. So in this case, depth first, you go deep. Okay, you go to the whole path, okay, until it reaches the edge. So breadth first, traversal of a graph, similar to traversing a binary tree, level by level. So nodes at each level are visited from left to right. So starting at the first vertex, the graph is traversed as much as possible, then go to the next vertex that is not yet visited. So you can use a queue to implement the breadth first search algorithm. So when you say breadth first, the queue data structure or the queue algorithm is implemented. Shortest path. So the shortest path is a weighted edge, where weight of the edge is a non-negative real number assigned to the edges connecting two vertices. So its example of that will be the traffic, okay, the weight of the traffic, or the length of the in terms of kilometers. So weighted graph, every edge has a non-negative weight. So weight of the path, P, is the sum of the weights of all edges on the path. So each also called the weight of V from U to U via P. So the source is the starting vertex in the path. Shortest path is the path with the smallest weight. Shortest path algorithm. Okay, so it's also called the greedy algorithm developed by the I don't know how to pronounce, Dijkstra. So the graph with n vertices where n is greater or equal to 0. So the vertices of G of the graph are list of vertices from V1 to Vn. So W will be the two-dimensional n by n matrix. So for the weight matrix, where W from I to J, so if vertex from I to J is an edge in G, and Wi in J is the weight of the edge, vertex I and J. So if there's no edge from V1 to Vj. So that means this is a infinity or infinite. So in the shortest path algorithm, initialize the array as smallest weight, so that smallest weight U is equal to the weights of vertex and U. So set the smallest weight, vertex to 0. So find the vertex V that is closest to the vertex for which the shortest path has not been determined. So mark V as the next vertex for which the smallest weight is found. For each vertex W in the graph, such that the shortest path from vertex W has not been determined, and an edge UW exists. If the weight of the path to the W via V is smaller than its current weight, update the weight of W to the weight of V plus the weight of the edge VW. So for n vertices, you step through item 3 to 5 and n minus 1 times. So it's it applies a looping algorithm wherein we find the total weight of the path. Okay, so whichever has the smallest, that will be the shortest path algorithm. So in this case, we have the given example of the graph wherein we have here the edge 0 and we have the vertex 0 and edges for example from 0 to 1 you have here the 16 weight 16. So graph after steps 1 and 2 are executed. So in this case, we will find the smallest weight for each of the vertices. So in this case, from 0, it doesn't have any weight. And from 0 to 1, okay, we have here the 16. And from 1 to 2, so that is infinity. And 3 will be, the weight is 2. And 4 has a weight of 3. So these are all represented in the array as smallest weight for each of the vertex. So weight found so it's a Boolean expression that tells if the weight is found. So what do you mean by weight is found? That will become the smallest. So in this case, the smallest will be the zero. Okay, so the node 0. So again, referring to the weight for each of the given node, then we have to determine if that will be the shortest. So at this point, for the second iteration, for the third step, okay, so 0 will be the smallest. And given the list, so you have to compare the path. Okay, add that up, and at this point, 3, the node 3 or index 3 will be considered the smallest. So that's why it's called it is now converted or changed to true. So if you will be comparing the path from 0 to 1 and 0 to 3, 3 has, from 0 to 3, it has the smallest weight. Okay, so therefore it will be traversed. So graph after second iteration. So at this point, okay, you compare again which has the smallest weight. So what have you observed between the contents of your smallest weight? So in the first iteration, your path to the 1 is 14, but this time it is 13. So as you move from as you go along with the path, okay, you have here the n minus 1. So in this case, at this point, we have 3 being the smallest. Okay, or that means it already has traversed. So in this case, we have the path from 0 to 2 and the path from 0 to 4 and from 4 to 2. So after the fourth iteration of going through steps 3, 4, and 5, the array now contains the given value or given content. So to find the shortest path, we have here zero, 4, 2 to 1. Okay, so depending on the in which destination you would want to go through. But the process, okay, so let's go back again to the algorithm. So we have to initialize the smallest weight so that the smallest weight u become the weights of the given vertex. So set the smallest weight vertex that is equal, set smallest weight, excuse me, vertex is equal to 0. So find the vertex v that is closest to the vertex, which is given here, for which the shortest path has not been determined. Okay, so in this case, you have to go you have to, what do you call this? So as you can see from here, from the given, we set the smallest weight here as the smallest, or that is equal to 0. And then we have to traverse, okay, to the, we have to go to the adjacent where, or that is closest, which means adjacent to the vertex for which the shortest path has not been determined. So the determined part will be marked as true or false. So mark V as the next vertex for which the smallest weight is found. Okay, so for each vertex W in G, such that the shortest path from vertex to W has not been determined and an edge VW exists, so there is a node there. If the weight of the path to W via V is smaller than its current weight, so update the weight of W to the weight of V plus the weight of the edge. Okay. So minimal spanning tree, okay. For example, we have your company needs to shut down a maximum number of connection and still be able to fly from one city to another. So what I mean by connection, sometimes, right, when you travel, you have the connecting flights. So you get off to a certain city and then for some time, and then you proceed to your next connection or to the destination. So online connections between cities and the cost factor of maintaining the connections. Of course, there is a cost whenever you get off and whenever you do the connecting flight. Okay, so airline connect, so at this point, we have 0, the different nodes will be the different cities. And the cost is the amount from the given node to another. Okay, so 0 to 1, the cost will be 6. From 1 to 4, the cost is 2. 4 to 10, 4 to 5 will be 10, and so on. So possible solutions to the graph could be, so we have here 0, 6, 0, 6, 0 to 1, 0 to 3, and 0 to 2. And then from 3, it goes to 4, and so on. So another one also, you have here a binary, okay, but this is depending on the algorithm, okay, you will have a longer depth. This is unbalanced. And then also the possible C, another solution. Okay, so again, let's go back to the original. So from 0, it can have a 3 path. Okay, so free minimal spanning tree. So we have here the free tree, simple graphs such that if U and V are 2 vertices in T, then there is a unique path from U to V. So rooted tree, a tree in which a particular vertex is designated as a root. So weighted tree in which a weight is assigned to the edges. And weight of T is the sum of the weights of all the edges in T, denoted by the weight of T. As a spanning tree of graph G, so if T is a subgraph of G, such that V's vertex of T will be equal to the vertices of G. So all the vertices of G are in T. So here shows the vertices of T that is in the graph. So the theory is that a graph G has a spanning tree if and only if G is connected. Minimal spanning tree is a spanning tree in a weighted graph with the minimum weight. So two well-known algorithms to find the minimal spanning tree, the Kruskals algorithm and the Prim's algorithm. So builds the tree iteratively by adding edges until a minimal spanning tree is obtained. Start with a designated vertex called the source vertex. And at each iteration, a new edge that does not complete a cycle is added to the tree. So here we have a weighted graph, G, undirected. So as per Prim's algorithm, to find the minimal spanning tree. So here, here is our original graph where the vertex of T is, the root will be the 0 and the edges of T will be phi, phi, and then N, or the different nodes are equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the edge will be from 0 to 1, the edge weight is 6. From 0 to 2, the edge is 5. 0 to 2, the edge is 5. And from 0 to 3, the edge is 2, which